Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Parat Param Purusham Yati Vidvan. So Parat Param means that which is even the Ashraya, the refuge of Ajnanam. This is a very interesting thing. How can that Brahman, which is free of ignorance, be the refuge of my Ajnanam? Because that's what it is. Ajnanam is being mithya, and as though entity that is best ended immediately, that Ajnanam is as though what? Brahmashraya. Brahmashraya means it rests as though in Brahman, because Brahman sustains everything, including, it's not opposed to my Ajnanam, it is not opposed to my ignorance even of Brahman. It just brings it to light. And so I have to know myself as this Ishvara. And what is this Ishvara? This Ishvara has two iterations, two aspects, we can say. One is the Ishvara of the temples. How do we invoke Ishvara in the temples? We invoke Ishvara as the creator of the universe. And who am I? A person in the helpless grip of the creation, of the laws of the creation, which I cannot transcend, which I cannot overcome, and which are there. And then I am a helpless cog in this whole thing called the Jagat. Ishvara is the maker of the laws, and I am the one who is coming under the spell of the laws, including, mind you, the law of karma. Ishvara is the one that bestows everything, and including the results of karma. And who am I? I am the bhokta, the experiencer of the results of karma. And then Ishvara is the resolver, the one who makes the Jagat disappear, not only just gives rise to the Jagat and then makes the Jagat appear, and not the one who just sustains the Jagat, but the one who makes the Jagat what? Disappear. The one who makes the Jagat disappear. Who is this one who makes the Jagat disappear? Ishvara. And I am living in the Jagat. Oh my God, the Jagat will disappear. Yes, it will disappear. And what will happen to me? You will just stop complaining for a while. That's all. You will be one with this. You will not have a separate, you will not be a separate entity with the power of complaining. That's what will happen. The complaints will be suspended until the next iteration of the Jagat. That is what it will be. And so, like this, we have the, this is the Ishvara of the temples, this is the Ishvara of the puja room, this is the Ishvara at our altars, this is the Ishvara that one prays to because one is afraid that without a life of connecting to this Ishvara, I am doomed, I cannot handle this, I cannot have this, I don't know what to do. I better relate to the one who is making all these laws, and then I better ask for mercy. I better ask for forgiveness of my transgressions. I better ask for the karma to be lifted. I better ask for the boons, for the wonders of something or the other to come to me, for my desires to be granted to me. I better ask for all these things. This is the Ishvara that we seem to be familiar with. And this is the Ishvara also of the first portion of the Veda. That is the Ishvara. Ishvara means what? This is what it is. The one who is Jagat Karana, and the one who is, the one who is here, and the one who is making all these laws. And who am I? The one who is slightly afraid of this Ishvara. The one in whose spell I come repeatedly. And that is how the Sri Rudram begins. The Sri Rudram says, you know what? This is Bhagavan. This Bhagavan has come with a bow and an arrow out to get you. And so what do I say? Namaste, Namaste. Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. Unto this Rudra Namaha. And then what? Namaste Rudra Manyave. You know what? The more I look at you, more angry you appear. It's just like the one who says, my dog is depressed. Okay, same thing. So you what's that word? Anthropomorphize the dog. And from that, it's just one step to anthropomorphizing God. Okay, both. And then you go to the temple and say, oh, God looks angry, Shiva looks angry, Shiva looks hungry, Shiva is not happy with me. All these are where? In my own head. It's not in the temple, it's in between these temples. And still, I project. And so here in the Sri Rudram, I tell Bhagavan, you kind of look upset. And then what? You are making eye contact with me. And that means, dare I think you are angry with me? Dare I say that? Well, you know what? I better be on the safe side. It looks like you are angry with me. So, you know what? Namaha to your anger, O Lord. Namaste Rudra Manyave. Manyave Namaha. Manyu means anger. Manyave. Like Gurave. So, Manyave Namaha. Namaste Astu Manyave. And then what? Look at those huge arms. You have these huge arms. Why? To be able to better, like that Red Riding, what was that called? Red Riding somebody. Red Riding Hood. Yes. Red Riding Hood went to visit Grandma. Grandma was in the wolf's tummy, and the wolf dressed up as Grandma. And then the Red Riding Hood, this young girl who went to visit the grandma, was very confused. What big arms you have. What big eyes you have. What big ears you got, Grandma. And so, like this, the bhakta here is just is out of is out of the element. There is a lot of projection, and the projection here is on Bhagavan. Oh my God, oh Lord, what big arms you have. All the better to turn the arrow and shoot the arrow of karma phala, of the results of action that are owed to me right into my heart. This is what you are trying to do. Come on, admit it. And so I want to propitiate those arms which are holding the arrow. I want to propitiate the anger because of which you are looking at me and you are frowning and looking at me displeased. This is the God, and then, anything we hear, like all we have to do is to look at the horror scope, the individual scope of horrors. And what is the nakshatra? Where is the Saturn? Where is the Shani? Shani is in Aquarius right now. And so anybody who has the moon sign of Aquarius and what is that? Pisces, Aquarius, and what comes before that? Capricorn, I think. And then, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces will be undergoing the 7.5 year round of Saturnine, Saturnine influence. So, because Saturn spends 2.5 years in each zodiac sign, he is the shadow side of the sun. In fact, he is the son of the sun. And then he spends 2.5 years in each zodiac sign. And then what is his MO? His modus operandi is to give you Atmajnanam. Oh, Shani gives Atmajnanam? I thought it was Guru. No, no, no. Shani is also a teacher. Guru is also a teacher. Gurus, it is just that their teaching methods are somewhat different. That's all. They use different pedagogies. Oh, tell all. What are the pedagogies that Guru and Shani use? Completely opposite pedagogies. Guru will say, please sit, come and listen. Here are some things in your life you need to mind, and perhaps you need to look at these things. And then you know what? All these things are happening for your growth. Would you like to grow? Would you like to grow out of all these things? And then would you like to do this? And then you say, yes, oh, what a lovely, compassionate teacher this Jupiter is. Shani also teaches. Guru says, here are some opportunities to have vairagya, to have viveka. What does Shani do? Takes off your shirt, takes off the rug from under the feet and says, let me give you a practical demonstration of vairagya and viveka. Oh, but I don't know what I'm floundering. Deal. It's okay. You're an adult. Deal. It's okay. This is what is karma phala. Deal. Results of action. This is what it's called. Just deal. Not a big deal. No, you just have to deal with it. And so Shani is also a teacher. And in the 7.5 years, Shani first, in the Shani, just before this 7.5 years starts, Shani is in a very good position in the 11th house from from your ascendant. And that is a wonderful placement. And that Shani takes you to the glories. Shani gives you fame. Shani gives you results, wonderful results of all your good karmas. And what else does Shani do? Shani can make you famous. Shani can make you wealthy. Shani can make the whole world come at your feet and then kiss your feet and say, what shall I do next to please you? So 2.5 years, one can get very complacent, enjoying being on top of the world. And then when the Shani comes to the 12th house from the ascendant, the first house, 12th house, etc., and the second house, then all that glory, all that grandeur, all that is just taken away. Oh, but I was feeling so good and so cozy. Exactly. Now, what have you learned? I have learned that change is the only constant. Okay, good. This is what Shani. See, Shani is an effective teacher. Just the things are very, very different. So, this is the karma phala that one is used to. In fact, Shani temples in India are so popular. Really, very much. And so much so, they are so popular that there was one Shani temple somewhere in near Nasik, in Nasik district in Maharashtra. And then it is, it was only, there was only, the women could just go on I haven't been there, so I don't know. They could just go and apparently stand in one particular place, whereas the men could go right up to the deity and offer it oil and all these things. Shani, the propitiation of Saturn as Bhagavan, because these are not just planets, they are the incarnations of Bhagavan, they are the embodiment of Ishvara. This is the Ishvara that is given to us in the Veda, and this is the Ishvara that we learn to relate to. And this is what we need to learn to do in order to make life a little more livable, so that I can live in tandem with these laws rather than flout the laws all the time. And so this is the Ishvara that I want to propitiate. And so much the Shani is famous that the women in India rose against this rule. Why can't we go and oil the deity? Why can't we offer oil abhisheka? Why do you only men have to do this? And they moved the Supreme Court and won. Okay, that is how famous Shani is. that the women will refuse to be away. Why should you all get the punya? Why should we not get the punya? We also deserve this. What have we done? And so they moved the Supreme Court, and then as a result, they were able to enter the sanctum of this temple and uh, offer worship. So this is the Ishvara that we know. This is the Ishvara, the stuff of the Veda. This is the Ishvara of the temples. This is the Ishvara of our dreams. This is the Ishvara that we yearn to connect to. This is the Ishvara that we want darshan of. But there is something there. This is all well and good. But this is not the ultimate, this is not the ultimate Ishvara. Because as long as I'm connecting to this Ishvara, then you know what happens? There is always duality. Where is Advaita? There is non-duality. This is the Ishvara of my dreams. This is the Ishvara that I long for. So wherever there is longing, that means what? There is no sense of belonging. If there is a belonging, there cannot be a longing. You cannot long for that which is you, which belongs to you. So there is no belonging. Therefore, I'm left with a sense of longing. And this longing is just exactly that. It's a separation. It's a separation from that which I have learned to love, that which I have a little bit of a good measure of fear, that which I want to know, that which I don't know where it is. It has no location, but here I go to the temple, it is there in full glory. This glory, I can only, as long as I am a worshipper, this glory I can only partake from a distance. Not, there is no oneness here. It's like it's all your glory, oh Lord, and I'm just sitting there, what, gawking, gazing at your glory. That's all it is. Oh, you wonderful person, you wonderful. And then I pray to this Ishvara, I sing praises, and as long as I'm singing the praises, there is an immersion of the one who considers herself, himself limited into that which is the source of all limitlessness. And so for the time being, all the fears, all the insecurity takes a back seat. And in the bhajan, I have immersed, in the praise songs, I have immersed, in the Ashtottara. Ashtottara means the 108 names, the 1008 names, all the Sahasranama, I have immersed. How long? Briefly. As long as the Sahasranama, the 1008 names are over, I have my own Sahasranama, a litany of abuses towards the Jagat, towards myself, towards everybody else, towards even Ishvara is there. All the pain, the sorrow, the fear, the sense of limitations, and everything rises. So this Ishvara is what? Is this iteration of Ishvara powerful? Yes. Glorious? Yes. Awesome? Yes. And evokes in me a bhakta? Yes. All that. Yes to all that. But it is not the Ishvara that is revealed ultimately as the truth of the self. That Ishvara, to understand that this Ishvara who I have nothing in common with, is really me. To understand that, we have to look at the other, we have to look at Ishvara from another standpoint. So this one is called Tatastha Lakshana, a attributes, or Ishvara with attributes, or a definition of Ishvara from the standpoint of the manifest universe, from the standpoint of the Jagat, the manifest universe. But here, the stuff of Vedanta is Ishvara, that is you. And what is that? That which is devoid of even the causation. That status of being the cause is also mithya. We have to understand in all the discussions of mithya, one more mithya we have to see, that the status of being a cause and being apart from the effect is also mithya alone. also mithya. And so therefore, what is there? What is there is all just that which is the truth of everything. We go back to Brahman, limitlessly big. Limitlessly big means what? It must be there. Otherwise, how can it be big? If it is not there, it cannot be non-existent and big at the same time. So therefore, it is an entity. It is an entity that is big. It's limitless. And if it is limitless, then what is it? It is existent. It is existent, that's why it can be limitless. A non-existent entity cannot be limitless. That makes no sense at all. It's only an existent entity that can be limitless. So this entity which is existent, which is limitless, happens to be what? Sentient. How do you know it is sentient? Where is the proof that it is sentient? Why can't it be, a dead entity, inert entity? Why can't we say Brahman is inert? Even though in Sanskrit Brahman is neuter, it is not inert. It is not inert. Grammatically neuter, all right, but it is not. It is not inert. It is sentient. Why? Because you are sentient. No, I don't think I'm sentient. If you are thinking that, please see me after class, okay? This is urgent. Yeah, we need to have a talk. That's all I can say. So, sentient means what? I am. I know I am. Sentient means I am existent, and I know that I am existent, so I am sentient. This is what is the meaning of sentient, and this sentience is what? In the form of all knowledge. Well, you lost me over here. Okay, up till now I was going with you. I understand I'm sentience, sentience itself. Okay, no problem. I'm sentient. I can see that. And why? Because when I pinch myself, I can say, "Ow, okay, so I'm alive." This much I know. But then, if you say I am all knowledge, it doesn't sit well with me. Somewhere I appear to have lost. I appear to have lost you here, because how can I be all knowledge? Because why can't you be all knowledge? Because there are many things I do not know. What do you not know? I don't know Greek language. I don't know Mandarin language. I don't know what the black hole looks like. I don't know Hawkins radiation. I don't know astrophysics. I don't know biochemistry. I don't know microbiology. Here you are keeping us telling me all the things you don't know. Yes, that shows I am not all knowledge. But on an ontological level, you know that you don't know, correct? Ah, you know what you don't know, and what you know plus what you don't know constitutes all. So when you know what you know, when you know what you don't know, that means what? You are all knowing. This is what it is. Your all knowledge, meaning even the ignorance of yourself is evident to you. Ignorance of objects evident to you. Ignorance of the subject evident to you. Everything is evident to you. That's what is the sentient conscious entity, which is all knowledge. Since I am all knowledge, that which is Brahman has to be all knowledge. It cannot not be all knowledge. It has to be all knowledge. It cannot be otherwise at all. Why? It is because you are the knowing one. You are the knowing being that is limitless. And there is only one limitless. So therefore, if Brahman is limitless, that means what? You are limitless. If you are sentient, that means Brahman is sentient. Nobody can go and say if is Brahman sentient or not. You just know yourself. You are sentient, therefore what? Brahman is also sentient. And so this is the standpoint where the understanding of the oneness takes place. The oneness definitely is between Jiva and Ishvara. But then what do we see? The oneness is between the wave and the ocean. The wave is flailing around saying, I'm so small. I am not all. I want to be God, but I'm not God. Ocean is God. And then you go and tell the wave, no, you are ocean. How can I be ocean? And then you say, what are you made up of? Water. What is the ocean made up of? Water. If anybody wanted to touch the ocean, can they just touch you? Yes. In fact, there is no wave, no ocean other than the wave. And then you see that. And then the wave understands this. Similarly, the jiva is nothing but Ishvara. And that the wave feels like the ocean is far away is but an ocean. It is not a reality at all. It is not a reality. And so, therefore, what? So, therefore, this is something that the quicker we understand, the better it is. Therefore, we see that this Brahman, I am, that is what is the teaching. That is what is the removal of Atma Ajnana. And so the equation is made by understanding Ishvara as the truth of oneself. By suspending Ishvaratvam, by suspending the causality, by suspending the glory, by suspending all knowledge, by suspending the power to create, the power to withdraw, the power to sustain, all these things, the power to take back the universe, all that is suspended. Then only that is what is Parat Param Purusham Upaiti. Then I see that Ishvara is nothing but Satyam, Sat Chit Ananda. Sat, that which exists, Chit, which is sentient, and Ananda, which is Ananta, limitless. What am I? When the body is cognitively not taken into consideration, mind, senses, anything that is variable, as we saw yesterday, is not accounted for. What is there is just consciousness, awareness. And that awareness happens to be all present, all knowledge, and totally free of all limitations. And that is how we say this is the Ishvara of Vedanta. This is unfolding the Aikya, the oneness between the Jiva and Ishvara. So now let us turn to the text and see, now that we have understood this much, and you can see from this how deep Ashvalayana's understanding was, how deep it was, so that he knew all this, he could teach us all this, he could do this, and so we can only praise him for his understanding. And then, so now let us see what the teacher says. The teacher or not, what the teacher says, let us see. Tasmai sahovacha, Tasmai sahovacha, Pitamahascha, Pitamahascha, Shraddha Bhakti, Dhyana Yogad Avaihi, Shraddha Bhakti, Dhyana Yogad Avaihi. Tasmai sahovacha. Tasmai means unto him. Whom? Who is there? Ashvalayana, of course. Unto him who asked for this knowledge, Pitamahascha. Pitamaha means the grandsire, the grandfather. Why? Because the Lord Brahmaji is considered to be the father of Prajapati. Prajapati is the creator of all the beings, and so he is the granddaddy of the universe. So Pitamahascha Tasmai Sahovacha. And so this chakara should be taken, we will see this in the Tika. Chakara should be taken as api. Api means also, the one who is who is also the grandsire of the universe, responded. And what did he say? Shraddha. So avaihi means may you know, may you attain this which you are seeking from me, attain this Brahman through a formula. What is the formula? Through Shraddha. Shraddha means trust pending understanding. This is Shraddha. And through Bhakti. Bhakti means devotion, reverence and devotion. Shraddha, reverence, Bhakti, devotion. And then Dhyana. Dhyana means the Dhyana means the meditation. And what is this yoga? Shraddha eva yoga. We'll see this. So the Shraddha itself is a lifestyle, is a yoga, and then the yoga also means combination of all these. Tesham yoga. So the yoga of Shraddha plus Bhakti plus Dhyana, this combination, the combined practice, cultivating Shraddha and cultivating Bhakti and practicing meditation, practicing having a tranquil mind, through this you understand. This is what the teacher says. Very interesting, very interesting. This, what is that? Answer. And then if we look at the Tika, it will have some helpful. It will say some very helpful things. What will it say? It will talk about some of the things that that the Upanishad generally leaves out or is not very clear about or does not elaborate. So tasmai, unto him, saha means this teacher, saha ha uvacha. Ha means here long time ago. Long time ago, whenever this incident took place, duly replied. What did he say? Also here means the one uh, who is the Jagat Pitrunam Dakshadinam Pita Pitamahah. So the Pitamahah is qualified with the word also. Also means the uh, uh, the the grandsire of the universe. This is what is the word. This is what the cha means. And then what did he say? So saha pitamaha api uvacha. Then what did he say? Natu upeksham kritavan ityarthaha. Because the teacher always has a choice. When the student asks the question, if they are not ready, then the teacher can say, go do something else and then I'll respond to you later. Or the teacher can just completely ignore the student, or the teacher can say, come back in some time. Like in the Prashnopanishad, the 6 students ask 6 questions of the Acharya. The Acharya's name is Pippaladaha. So this Pippalada, who is the name of the teacher, meaning he lived on berries. Pippalam Atti iti Pippaladaha. So the one who keeps on eating the berries, maybe he lived on roots and fruits, that's what it was. And he was living off of antioxidant fruits, probably in the Himalayas, goji berries and all these things. And so he was asked 6 questions by 6 students. And what did he say? He said, stay in the ashram for 1 year. Do seva, cleanse yourself, and then purify yourself. Let the raga dveshas, let the raga dveshas expire. Every raga and dvesha has an expiry date. Let it expire, make it die away quickly, and then come back to me after 1 year. Here the teacher could have said that. But here the teacher doesn't say come back after 1 year. The teacher responds immediately because obviously there is adhikaritvam. Adhikaritvam means the qualifications are there, eligibility is there. You see how knowledgeable the sage is. Natu upeksham kritavan means did not ignore him, did not neglect the questions, took his questions seriously. And then Brahma Vidyayaha Sakashat Vaktum Ashakyatvat Tadarthasya Brahmanah Vang Manasa Atitatvat Ataha Sopaya sopayantaram aha shraddha iti. So he says, okay, see, now the question will arise, if I want to know Brahman and I come to the teacher to say, please teach me about Brahman, what is the teacher saying? Oh, learn Shraddha, cultivate Bhakti, do Dhyanam. What has that got to do with Brahman? I said, Adhihi Bhagavo Brahma, Brahma Vidyam Varishtham. Sada Sadbihi Sevyamanam Nigudham. Teach me Brahman. And what are you teaching me? You're telling me to cultivate Shraddha, to cultivate reverence, to cultivate devotion, and to meditate. I didn't come here for a meditation session. I came here to be taught the knowledge of non duality, and here you are telling me to meditate. And so that question can come. And so the Tikakara helpfully says, Brahma Vidyayaha Sakashat Vaktum Ashakyatvat. Since the knowledge of Brahman cannot be given as an object, it's like supposing somebody says, teach me how to cook this dish. Teach me how to make chai. That's easy. You can teach them. You can say, okay, get this, get that, get a bowl of, get a saucepan, fill it up with water, and then do this, do that. You can tell them. Teach me this. Yes, you can do that. Teach me Brahman. Array, Brahman is not a thing that you can buy in the market. Brahman is not other than you. Brahman is you. Is the content of you, is the truth of you, is that which is not at all objectifiable. And so therefore what? Therefore I can't teach you Brahman. And so therefore what? So I will give you a formula. I'll give you a formula by which this knowledge becomes clear the more you are prepared. This is a kind of a sobering moment for all of us. Because if someone with the caliber of Ashvalayana was told to cultivate Shraddha, cultivate Bhakti and meditate, you can imagine for everybody else. What is the instruction for everybody else? You can only imagine. So that means what? Even if one is very famous, even if one is the Acharya of the Rig Veda, one still has to do the homework. One still has to prepare. Oh, I thought he was already prepared. Yes, but still more of a preparatory nature of instruction is being given here, whereby the knowledge of Brahman, the knowledge that is Brahman, just unfolds itself to the one who has Shraddha, to the one who is ready. And of all the qualifications, Shraddha is picked out because as we see in the Bhagavad Gita also, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. The knower of the Vedanta is what? Is the one we gifted with, or the one who has taken the pains to cultivate Shraddha. And so he says that this one, so he does not ignore the student. Why does he not ignore the student? He says that, Jignyasoho durlabhatvat upeksham na karoti. Tikakara supplies. Because such jignasu means the desirer of knowledge. Mumukshu, the one who desires freedom. The mumukshu has to convert to a jignasu, then only the knowledge can take place. Mumukshu means a general seeker of freedom. Freedom means what? I have to be away from the parents. That is freedom. That's not freedom. Because somebody who reminds you of your parents will be there right in your life. Perhaps you are married to them. So that is not really freedom. And then so what is freedom? Oh, I want to get away from everything. That is also not freedom. Because you carry your head with you wherever you go. As long as your head is there, then you are not free. So what is freedom? Freedom is on the contrary. Freedom is understanding that I am already free despite a body that is compromised, despite a terrible childhood, despite fears, despite terrors, despite the unconscious mind and all these things, I am free. That is freedom. And so therefore, such seekers of knowledge, so the seeker of freedom means that I have to learn that I am not, I have to understand I'm already free. So I convert myself from being a seeker of freedom to a seeker of knowledge. Jignasu. Jignasoho durlabhatvat upeksham na karoti. So the teacher does not ignore Ashvalayana because the jignasus are hard to come by. The true seekers, the true desirers of knowledge are difficult to come by. So every teacher is on the lookout. Where will I get a student like this? And so Nachiketa, you see in Kathopanishad, the Nachiketa is praised for many, many verses by Lord Yama, who is delighted to have him as a student. So every sincere student is a teacher's delight. And so the teacher does not want to ignore, because the teacher is very happy to encounter such a student. That is what the Tika says. Then he says that natu upeksham kritavan brahma vidyayaha sakashat vaktum ashakyatvat. Ashakyatvat means because of the difficulty of communicating Brahma Vidya, because of the subject object confusion, because of the wrong conclusions. And I cannot objectify Brahma Vidya, the student cannot objectify Brahma Vidya. So there is a difficulty there in unfolding it, and in unfolding it in a manner that the student understands. So therefore, the teacher deems it necessary for Ashvalayana, and by extension for all the mumukshus and jignasus, to do a little more preparation. So tadarthasya brahmanah vang manasati tatvat. Besides, it is beyond speech, beyond the mind. Brahman is not something which is can be made into a word. Even though we say Brahman, it's just an indicatory word. It is not this. It is not a attribute. It's a satyam, jnanam, anantam, sat, chit, ananda. They are indicatory words. They just indicate, like a signpost that says, go this way if you want to go to the restaurant. Restaurant this way. Sometimes they put a little hand and show on the signpost. You don't start eating the signpost because you are hungry and you want to go to the restaurant. That is not the restaurant. The signpost cannot be confused for the restaurant. The signpost just tells you where to go. And here too is a signpost. What is that signpost? That signpost is pointing to you. It's indicating to you. Not the you of the body, mind, sense complex, but the you because of which there is the body, because of which there is mind, because of which there are senses. That you, that is what is it's indicating. And so therefore, so this is very difficult to tell, because it is beyond the mind, it's beyond the senses, it's certainly beyond speech. Ataha sopayantaram means, upayena saha vartate. So so this Brahman is not beyond comprehension. It needs a little more preparation. Lest you think of it as an academic pursuit, lest one thinks of it as some kind of a something to catch, kill, conquer, like we have been talking about. So this Brahman needs a little more preparation. And the first rung of the ladder of this preparation is Shraddha. Shraddha means what? Trust. Trust is Shraddha. And what kind of trust? The trust that I do not have. That is Shraddha. The trust that is non-existent. This is what is Shraddha. Where is the trust? Oh, it's not there. It went a long time ago. When did it go? I don't remember. It must have been there when I was a small baby, helpless in the crib like that, looking up, wondering somebody, when will they come feed me? When will they come change the nappy? When will they come take me on their lap? Show me some affection? This is what the baby was. As a baby, one was total trust. Total trust is the baby. Total trust. Why is there the total trust? It's a compensation for the complete helplessness that the baby finds itself. When the baby is born in America, they give it a big, long, 10-digit social security number. And it is the most socially insecure thing at that age. 2 months, 3 months, it doesn't know. Even animals are better off, I tell you. They are able to immediately get up after they are born. They are able to immediately get up, and without GPS, they are able to make their way to the mother's milk. This is amazing. But the human baby is dependent on the caregivers for a long, long time. For a long time, it just consumes, consumes, consumes. It is a consumer. And so, therefore, what? Therefore, there is this trust in the beginning. Somebody is comforting me. Oh, I feel nice. Suddenly I had a tummy pain. But then somebody just put their hands on me, put the hands on the back, soothed the pain away. And there is trust. Oh, this person knows what they are doing. Oh, this one is called mummy. That one is called daddy. Fantastic. This is wonderful. Look, they can walk. I can't even just, I can kick accidentally. I can just put my legs up and down. I don't have coordination even. If the baby could have a developed mind, this is what it would think. It would think these are gods. The mother is God, father is God. And then it completely trusts because it doesn't have a choice. It has absolutely no choice. It totally, totally trusts the parents, trusts to feed it, trusts to dress it, trusts to keep it warm. All these things. Trusts it to fulfill all the needs. Trust, 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 trust. After that, what? After that, it realizes the baby, after it grows up a little bit, realizes, oh, this is not Pleasantville anymore. It was pleasant, but right now things are not very pleasant. Why are they not very pleasant? Because of the fact that the mother is unfriendly at times. This one called the mother is unfriendly and careless. Yesterday she dropped me, not from a great height, but then she did. After that, oh, I don't know. You want to pick me up? I don't think so. I just remember that I don't remember all the details because I'm still very small, but I do remember that the last time you handled me, something bad happened and I could not stop crying for a long time. I was scared, I was petrified. I don't think I'm going to come to you. Mother inconsistent, father absent, here today, gone tomorrow, back day after tomorrow, so many things. And maybe the father has to work. Maybe the father has to work long hours. Maybe the mother also has to work. But the child is not terribly bright, is it? Because its brain is not developed in the same way that it is for an adult. It can only say that it can only think they must not love me. It internalizes everything. They must not care. I must be bad. That's why they are going away. I must be bad. That's why they are absent. I must be bad. That's why they are mean. I must be bad. That's why they are unfriendly. It doesn't have the wherewithal to think that they too are fallible and they also have needs. They also have bad days. It is not able to think all that. All it can say is, this is something is wrong here. And so those caregivers which the child thought were gods, this mother is God, father is God, they turn out to be at best odd. And then they turn out to be inconsistent. And in fact, they are not caregivers at all. What are they? Scaregivers. We have to put an S in front of the caregivers. They are caregivers. They make me afraid. They make me uncomfortable. They guilt trip, they do all kinds of things, and they yell for no reason at all. They are screaming at the top of their voice, I'm so small, I don't know what is happening, I must be a really bad baby. This is what the baby can think and internalize. And at the same time, there is a loss of self-esteem, and the loss of self-esteem is accompanied by a loss of trust in the caregivers. This is what is this is where there is a spoof, there is a There is a letting go of the all the expectations that one had with regard to the parents. Yes, they'll take care of me. I don't think so. No, 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 not this woman who calls herself the mother. I don't think so. Not this father, not this man. What is wrong with them? And so then the world view is that of distrust. The distrust is also taught in the families. Don't go with strangers, even if they have candy. Don't do that. Don't go here. Don't go there. The parents make the child even more afraid. With good reason. I'm not saying that it's the fault of the parents, with good reason. Yes, there are all kinds of, unsavory people in this world with unsavory behaviors, and predators and offenders and all this. So to keep the child safe, the child is taught to distrust. This becomes our MO, modus operandi, about how to go about in the world. So there is that which is like a socially acceptable distrust of strangers and unfamiliar things, situations, people. It is socially ratified, it is socially accepted. And then there is a personal distrust based on one's own background. This background is there for everybody. The same background of growing out of the trusting baby to a distrustful adult. Everybody has gone through this. That is why Vedanta works. That is why this is very important and this Shraddha is very needed. What is Shraddha? Shraddha is the homecoming, coming back and daring to trust again. Who shall I trust now? Who is there to trust? There is nobody that I can trust, because anybody can drop the ball. Anybody can drop my expectations of them. Anybody can be untrustworthy. They can only be trusting until they disappoint me. So that my trust is only until the next disappointment. This is what is my trust. And so this is how one negotiates in life. So that is what happens, a 5-minute trust. And that's what happens. That is why marriages are disappointing, because not because of the other person. Marriage is disappointing because of oneself and one's expectations. Friends are disappointing not because of the friends themselves. Friends are disappointing because I did not know where to put the trust. That is why I am disappointed, because I expected something from somebody who is not in a place to give it to me. That is why there is disappointment. That is not the fault of the person. That is all their capacity. What can you do? They are themselves helpless. They themselves need something from you. They are not in a position to give. What are we going to do? And so in the Upanishad, when we talk about Shraddha, this is one of the Upanishads that really highlights Shraddha. Shraddha means walking back, coming home, to a homecoming, to a place of trust. Who should I trust? I have to put my trust in that which cannot disappoint. I have to choose that entity which cannot disappoint. And so, if you take a pen and a piece of paper, you know what are you going to do? You have to scratch out everybody and everything. Everything disappoints. Everybody disappoints. So who is left? Nobody. Just a scratched up piece of paper. Nobody is left. Who is left here? No one is left. Well, somebody is left. What is left? The creator of the universe that we have been talking about, Ishvara, is left. Oh, don't talk to me about Ishvara. Ishvara also disappoints. Ishvara does not disappoint. What disappoints is your concept of Ishvara disappoints. Yes. Ishvara, as unfolded by the Shastra, cannot and does not disappoint. Ishvara, as unfolded by the Shastra, simply is that which is infallible is the name of Ishvara. That which is infallible. We don't say Ishvara is infallible. If I say Ishvara is infallible, it's a setup. Because the next time what I want does not happen, then that means Ishvara is fallible. No. That which is infallible, that which happens without fail, that which cannot make a mistake is Ishvara. And the attitude that I have towards this Ishvara is called Shraddha. The loss of trust that happened at a young age with the mother and the father can only be resolved by daring to trust, to place my trust in the mother and the father of the universe. This is the teaching. I have to dare to trust. I have to dare to trust again, because the distrust is very, 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 very costly. It's the costliest thing in the universe to continue with this distrust of people, of situations, of things, and including this knowledge. The knowledge comes in the form of the teacher, in the form of the Upanishad. And then the knowledge says, this is Sat. Bhagavan is Sat. And Bhagavan is Purusha. And that Purusha is you. And it is known through Om. This is what it says. And then then the person filled with distrust. If I'm filled with distrust, what will I say? Yeah, big deal. Let it be. Tattvamasi, yeah. Let it go. This is not, the trust, therefore, has to be cultivated. I have to dare to place the trust in the mother and the father of the universe, who cannot disappoint really when we look at it objectively, who absolutely cannot disappoint, who are unable to disappoint. They are just not able to disappoint. This Ishvara is not capable of disappointing at all. Why? Because it's the altar that takes the disappointment away. That is Ishvara. That is Ishvara which takes the disappointment away. Because we are going from Shraddha to Bhakti, really, even though we haven't covered fully Shraddha, we are going to Bhakti. Because the relationship between the maker of the universe and the one that is subject to the laws of the universe is that of devotion. So the connection of devotion soothes the pains and sorrows away, because that is the only place which is the resting ground for all the unprocessed pain, the unprocessed sorrow, the unprocessed fears, the unprocessed all kinds of things. That is the place. That is the place. And when the sorrows and the pains and the fears and the anger finds a resting ground, I am liberated. I'm liberated from attaching to those feelings as a part and parcel of me. I have let go. How have you let go? Very, very easy to see this. First, I am drowning and marinating in my sorrow. I'm drowning in my anger. I'm baking in my anger. I'm drowning in my sorrow. I'm being surrounded by my fear, held captive by my fears. And then what? This is the place of helplessness. I can't stand my own mind. I cannot live with my emotions. I cannot be just myself anywhere, anyhow. That is why the mother and the father of the universe I use as an altar of surrender. I have to take the pains somewhere. I take the pains and put it there. This is the altar of surrender, because why is it called altar? As I have said before, it has the power to alter me. That is why it is the altar of surrender. Placed at the altar of surrender, I see that I can see from the subjective trappings of my own mind, from the emotions, etc., I get a little bit of inner space to see, no wonder if I had this kind of a background and that I have these issues, then no wonder I'll have these feelings as an adult. A child that was subject to neglect, a child that was subject to abuse will grow up with fear, will grow up with these kinds of issues, will grow up with distrust, will grow up with perhaps a predilection for avoiding people, so many things. And then that is when the miracle happens. It is no longer my pain, my sorrow. Now I'm looking at Ishvara from the standpoint of the psychological order. And then I say, then I see everything is really in order. Given this background, that I am like this right now, that I am captive held by these feelings, is not a surprise at all. In fact, that is a law of the universe. You see how I have Ishwarized the mind, I have Ishwarized the emotions, I have Ishwarized every single painful thing, and now it is not a pain, it is a fact. And the trust has been regained. The trust that was lost in the local mother and father has been regained in the global mother and father, in the universal mother and father, has been regained there, because now I simply see it as a fact. My sadness, fact, which I can embrace because now I'm an adult. My fear, a fact. It is not just my fear, it is everybody's fear. It happens to everybody. It's a law of the universe which is unfolding as my mind, as my emotions, as my expectations, as my disappointment. And so it is all in order. This is the gift of Shraddha. This is one of the main gifts of Shraddha. Even if one is not interested in Vedanta, this gift is a very, very important gift of Shraddha. One more gift is there. We will see that in the last class tomorrow. We will see that. We will see that in the last class tomorrow. I'll take a little extra time tomorrow to finish the class, and then we will conclude in the last session tomorrow. I'll say the closing prayer now and take a few questions if people have. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Somebody has raised their hand. I don't know who it is. Yeah.
Namaskaram, Swamiji. My name is Rajesh. So I
Yes.
have a question. So there
Yeah.
is Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana.
Yes.
Are these disjunctions, can we pick one? Or is it a conjunction, all of them? Or is
Yes.
it a causal sequence? Shraddha leads to Bhakti, leads to Dhyana. Or is it perfection in one gives you all three? In other words, which of that would be the right way to think about this?
Hmm. All three are important, and it is also true that there is an order. All of that which you have said is true. So it is true that there is an order. It is true that that if you get one, you get all of them, and then it brings in the other two. It is true that it is what was talked about was a combination. This particular combo has been talked about to perfect and to cultivate in order so that the knowledge comes easily. So everything that you said is true. Okay. Yeah. Next.
Pranam Swamiji, I am
Are you?
Karthik from London in the not so great Britain, like you said. um, a quick a quick clarification from the previous class, Swaminiji, where you
Yes.
had mentioned that knowledge of my nature as Brahman is not memory based.
Yes. Absolutely. What you said is true. That's why nobody can have the excuse that my memory is bad, so I can't attend Vedanta classes. It is you. It's not based on memory. If you want to be a teacher, yes, you have to know a few things. But if you want to enjoy this knowledge for yourself, it is you. It is not based on memory. It is that because of which there is memory. Brahman is that because of which there is memory. This is what we have to understand. It is the other way around. Memory, if it was based on memory, it would be finite. It would be an object. You have to memorize. Each time you have to say, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. You have to keep recalling. No, it is me. It is my Swarupa, because of which I have memory, because of which I have forgetting. And that which is the truth, which is the sakshi of both the memory and the forgetting, is that which is neither memory nor forgetting, and that is me. That is exactly what it is. Is that clear?
Yes, Swaminiji, if I may just ask a follow-on question,
Sure.
is this something like, for example, I am a human or I am a man, or are those still memory-based?
Those, yeah, in a way, they are not, like even your name. Yeah, you don't have to remember each time, my name is Karthik. You don't have to remember that. In a way, it has, you have identified with it. You have identified with being a man. That again, because of this identification, it is not memory based. Here too, I have identified as Brahman, therefore it is not memory based.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Pranam Swaminiji.
Hari
This
Om.
is Prashant. Hari Om Swaminiji. I have a question from something that you said in last class again.
Yes.
So you mentioned that this pursuit of Vedanta or self-knowledge is one has to have it like the only, or like when you said committed pursuit, then it means like it is the only pursuit that one should have.
Yes.
But most of us seem to be having this alongside our normal life. So that is one question. And then there is another question that I had from today's class, is that where you said, I know my ignorance and I also know what I know.
Yes.
So in that way, I understand that I am all knowing is something that I'm able to assimilate, but you said also that I am all knowledge. So I find a bit of difficulty in understanding I am all knowledge. I am all knowing, I can kind of understand because I know what I know and I also know what I don't know.
Yes.
But how does that equate to all knowledge? So I have two questions.
Yeah. So let's answer the second one first. So that is easy. It's not difficult because all knowledge means what? See, the word knowledge itself, does it pertain to the knower? Does it pertain to the known? Does it pertain to that? No. Here, when you say all knowledge, it is that which morphs into the knower, the one who says, I know, and it morphs into that which is the object, the known, and it morphs into the means of knowledge that connects to between the knower and the known. So, in other words, if I have an orange in my hand, correct? So, I am the knower of this orange. So, the orange is what? Brahman. I am what? Brahman. So, and then how do I know this orange? Because I'm seeing it with my eyes. So, the eyes are the means of knowledge. That is also Brahman. So it all knowledge means that which transcends the knower, that is me as the knower, and then the object as the known entity, and then that which connects the knower and the known, which is what? The means of knowledge, in this case the eyes. And so all three are Brahman, and Brahman is not any one of them. All three are Brahman. Brahman is not
So
any one of them. Yes. So that is why it is all knowledge. That is why you are all knowledge.
So it is in this understanding that I can say that I am all knowledge.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And what was the first question?
The first question was where you said that this pursuit should be, or because the worldly pursuits, the so-called worldly pursuit and Vedanta pursuit are not complementary, or it cannot go hand in hand. These are like something to that they are poles apart, sort of.
Yes.
So how do we understand it in the way
Because
we are
the
actually
Shastra,
learning?
the Shastra gives a choice. You can either plunge into it wholeheartedly by burning all the bridges and boats, or you can do it alongside your other pursuits. Shastra gives two lifestyles. The teaching is the pursuing the teachings is not an option. I mean, not pursuing the teachings is not an option. Therefore, the teachings are compulsory, but then the what is that? The teachings you can pursue the teachings in two lifestyles, two ways. Either you can completely go with it. It's called Jnana Yoga. All you do is teach and study, study and teach. That's all you can do. And then the other one is Karma Yoga, where you are doing other things, but your primary all the other things subserve this pursuit. Your primary commitment is your self growth, because of which you don't really focus on gaining the results of action. You let go of trying to manufacture the results of action. You dedicate the results of action to Ishvara. You just allow there to be. And so that is basically what you do. Okay. Yeah. And so therefore you just have to um, you have to choose. So you are not choosing whether I should study or not. The Jnana Yogi studies. It's just a different lifestyle. The Karma Yogi also studies. Both of them study, whereas the Karma Yogi has other desires and other things, agenda, other goals, other ambitions also that are valid, that are dharmic, that he or she wants to fulfill, whereas the Jnana Yogi is only interested in the knowledge and is prepared to lead that life. So both are allowed, and it's okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Next.
Swaminiji. I had asked this question multiple times. You answered me, but still it's not ingrained in me, so I'm asking this again.
Yeah.
You said with Shraddha, when you have Shraddha, we'll not have disappointment. So for me, it feels like as if having blind faith, because we have Karma Yoga, wherein we do dedicate our actions to Ishvara, as we just now said, and then express its results as fruits of action. I pray with a single-minded focus of some expectations. The prayer is a trust in the God,
Yes.
or the Ishvara.
Yes.
And then the results, the outcome of it is no.
Yeah.
No for the answer. That means my trust, the faith, what I asked has been disappointing. Because I have a Shraddha, a faith, and I'm asking for something, and it's not coming. So is it not leading to disappointment again?
No, because I'll tell you why. That is a subjective understanding. So you have to objectify the disappointment rather than treat it as a subject. You see what I'm saying? Because here it's the same thing like went and approached mummy for candy. Mummy did not give candy and I'm disappointed. So I went to goddess, to get a bigger candy, and God did not give candy. Therefore, I'm disappointed. This is the same kind of a thing. I am reproducing that subjectivity. So I'm reproducing that subjectivity, and this is exactly what the thing is. So I'm reproducing that same subjectivity. Therefore, I'm also reproducing that original disappointment when the father said no. So whether it is, God the Father or the Godfather, it doesn't matter. Whoever said no, if Father said no, then God as the Father also said no. This is the pain here. The same pain I'm reproducing. But when I see it objectively, what do I see? That whenever I don't get what I want, see, now the focus is not on Bhagavan. The focus is on me. When I don't get what I want, I get disappointed. This is a fact. That means what? The mind is like this. The emotions are like this. The makeup of an individual is like this. So in my life, I have been subject to many, many disappointments. And so, therefore, I may be a disappointed person. I have to take accountability for that. I have to embrace that I may be a disappointed person. And that disappointment, I have to now let it go at the altar of the Lord, the Goddess. I say to the Bhagavan, please take away this disappointment. You see, I have to know how to pray also. Please take away this disappointment because of which I am not able to do this, that, everything. Please take it away. Take away the source of this disappointment. Reveal the source of this disappointment. That means I'm doing something with this disappointment rather than dissing God. Just like I said, I gave up on the mother and the father. Now I'm giving up on God. No, I take stock of this disappointment. I look at the disappointment objectively, and then I'm able to work with the disappointment. Yeah. This is
When you
how,
say,
this is how the transformation happens. Because then I'm looking at the disappointment objectively, not subjectively. I'm looking at disappointment and its source. And I'm looking at how the disappointment is part of the world. It's part of life. And then I am looking at that and I'm learning how to deal with that. You see what I'm saying? It's a growth. It's a growth from personalizing that emotion of disappointment to look at it as, as something which is with a little inner space, something which is here, and I'm looking at it objectively and with compassion rather than subjectively with pain.
so there are few things I see here coming my way, Swaminiji. One is when I see the disappointment, how long should we continue pursuing that? So grow out of it, which seems to be some understanding which I'm not able to do that. Second thing is compromise. Okay, you know what? There's a fate. Leave it as it is, and then go with life, whatever is happening. Third thing is pursue on doing the same thing again and again, but until what time?
Yeah, there you have to exercise some judgment. You have to exercise some judgment. Obviously, the option number 3 is maddening. Why would one do the same thing and expect a different result when it's not, the outcome is not different? Then perhaps better to let it go and focus on something. Obviously, pray for clarity and focus on something that is you're more able to have at hand. That is what you can do. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Then here there is one online, Shani Dasha, not Shani Dasha, 7.5. Shani Dasha is 18 years, 19 years, or maybe even 20 years, I forgot. But it is not Shani Dasha, it is Shani, 7.5 years, Shani in Capricorn, Pisces and Aquarius. Yes, right now Shani is in Aquarius. Correct. So it will affect one sign after and one sign before. So yes, it is the reality. Yes, it's the current time. So these 3 moon signs of Capricorn, Pisces and Aquarius will be getting a lesson in Vairagya for sure. Everybody will be getting a lesson in Vairagya. Okay? Enjoy it. That's all we can do. Enjoy it and be prayerful. Om Tat Sat. See you tomorrow. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om.
Thank you, Swaminiji.
Yes. Yeah, Shraddha is trust in oneself.
Pranam.
Yeah, Shraddha is trust in oneself, but trust in Ishvara, really. Om Namah Shivaya. Om. Take care.